Mike on a car phone has made his return. Mike Francesa, the legendary Mike Francesa, who I grew up listening to my entire life. Mike, what do you think we want to talk about this morning?
Well, when you get one of these, usually it takes a whole show and about half the next day's show to sort it out because the fans will come up with every possibility. And what they do that's erroneous is they look at things after the fact. You can't. You have to take this in real time because when these happen, like the Pats in the Super Bowl or the Giants against San Francisco many years ago, every play is connected. If you take one out of the sequence, it doesn't work. For the Giants to lose this game, every possible thing that happened had to happen. If one thing doesn't happen, all right, if Dart doesn't throw the interception, if this doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, you don't get this. But what makes this one unique is the change of leadership. Usually the meltdown is one team comes back, beats the other team, and the other team's like, what happened? This game, the Giants actually lost the lead and came back and took the lead again. Right. I mean, that makes this one even more bizarre because you get that lead change at the end of the game. And to me, that lead change and that performance by Dart down the field, I know he got a lot of penalties, but that 4th and 19 throw under duress after what had happened early in that drive shows me so much about that player. It is worth the entire game because of what he did there, right there.
Hey, Mike, it's Izzy from a landline. I wanted to ask you, going into the game, kind of what was the beat on this team from the fans? Like, did they think they really had something right now in this sort of Dart and Scatterboo combination? And can't you just look at it as, hey, a kicker makes a couple extra points, and this is, we're riding this wave right here?
No, I think the Giant fans have been swept up in the optimism led by Dart and Scatterboo, but I think they still need to have more victories, more success to wash away this cycle. But I can tell you right now today, the cycle's over. The cycle, this is a terrible loss. They were not going to be a playoff team this year. That's not what this year was about. There's too many tough teams on the schedule. It's not going to happen. But it's about his development and finally ending the cycle. Now, I'm not the biggest Dable fan in the world, but Dable's going to be back because he's tied to Dart. He's completely tied to Dart, and Dart is now the franchise. And with that going forward, they have broken out of the cycle. The Giants' ascent has begun. The bad times, the misery, the embarrassments, everything that has gone on. And it has been terrible. And especially for a very proud franchise, and that's what they are. It has killed them internally. It's over. It is over. I don't have any question in my mind. It is completely over because the other players have bought in, completely bought in to what Dart and Scatterboo and a couple of the other kids are bringing to this team. And they performed really on a high level yesterday. Part of this was Denver. Nobody really brought that up. That defense was on the field too long in Denver. They were gassed. They were completely gassed. And that was an issue, and the coach had to realize that. And that coach and that staff are not good in game situations, and they're not good at realizing what is going on. And one pet peeve I have is, and I was shocked at Denver. I was shocked Denver didn't muster more of a pass rush. Listen, in this NFL, where you have such sophistication in the offense, you have such athleticism in the receivers, and you have liberalized the rules to the point where the defense has nothing to do and nothing to stand on. You have got to attack the quarterback. You do not drop 8 in coverage ever, and you must attack the quarterback in these late game drives or you're going to lose. The only way you can do it is to make the quarterback be wary of where he is on the field, having to stay away from getting sacked, and having to move the throw. If you let him sit back there and scan the field with no pressure, he is going to complete a pass 9 out of 10 times. And also, they are not afraid to throw game-changing penalties now, as you saw yesterday. In the old days in the NFL, they didn't throw. They put it in their pocket in the last 3 minutes, pass interference down the field. They weren't going to give you 50 yards. Now they don't care. They'll give you 50 yards at a whim.
Right.
You have to realize that as a defensive player, it has changed. Everything's to the offense. The offense has enormous advantages now, and that's why you always want to try and end the game. But people are saying crazy things today. Oh, I would have taken a knee and then run the clock down and scored. You don't know if you can score on that defense. That's nonsense. That's not looking at it in real time. The Giants played it the way they did. They just didn't execute. And again, it's about their general manager and their head coach. You have got to understand, when you make a roster for a game, the purpose and the ability of every player on that roster, because sometimes every player on that roster matters. They can't bring that kicker to the game. I'm sorry. When Gano's been hurt, and he's been hurt a lot, he has killed them. They have never figured out what to do when Gano's not healthy. And it has killed them on numerous occasions, and it killed them again yesterday. But so did the defense, and so did everything else. Now, a lot of people are going to look at the 3rd and 5 and say, Dart can't throw the ball there. Nonsense. Listen, they are letting Dart play with abandon. They are letting Dart play and feel the game and play it the way he wants. They're not afraid to let him throw a 5-yard pass there. What happened is his foot slipped and he didn't get the ball past the linebacker. It happens. He made a mistake. Okay, you live with it. Did it turn the game around? Yes. If he doesn't throw the interception, do they win? Yes. So what? That's what happens with young quarterbacks. That's what happens with all quarterbacks. He slipped. His foot slipped. Go look at the play. His foot slipped and he didn't get the ball past the linebacker, and it changed the game. It happens.
It's not like it was a 3rd and 1. It was a 3rd and 5. And if you trust your quarterback at all, you got to let him throw it.
And they wanted to end the game.
Yes.
They wanted to end the game right there, and I have no problem with that. And he has handled the ball well. Listen, Dart, I didn't know this about Dart. I was not a big Dart supporter. I had not seen Dart a lot in college. So I wasn't on the Dart bandwagon or anything. Dart is the real thing. I'm not saying he's going to be Allen or Mahomes. What I'm saying is he is a legitimate NFL quarterback who can win for you. There is no doubt. And just that fact. And then you bring in Scadaboo, who I loved. I thought last year, and I've been around college football my whole life, I thought Scadaboo's bowl game last year was maybe the best performance I've ever seen in a college football game.
It was
ever.
great. Wow.
Okay? That guy is a psycho. He is a psycho, okay? I love him. And I'm telling you, the stadium's going to be full of 6 and 44 jerseys for a long time.
And he went into that week, by the way, of his bowl game, telling everybody he's the best running back in college football because a lot of people hadn't heard from him, and then had that performance. That's when I knew it doesn't matter where this guy goes, he's going to do something in the league.
And he did it against a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable what his performance, and he's throwing up between plays. The guy is an absolute. Hey, I saw yesterday that on the game they mentioned that Bill compared to Rocky Blyer. Good comparison. I thought of Don Nottingham, if you go back that far, to the old days, if you remember Don Nottingham. But this guy is a bowling ball. But he's a quick bowling ball, and he's he's indestructible. He's not, I don't think he's going to get hurt because of the fact that he delivers more punishment than he takes.
Mike, I agree with you that Jackson Dart has saved Brian Daboll's job here. Has he saved Joe Shane's as well?
Listen, there's a lot going on with the Giants right now.
Right.
John Mara's not well, as we know. Okay. I doubt the Giants. I think something here would have to happen for those guys. I think Daboll's back, and I'm pretty sure they're tied at the hip. I would be very surprised if there were any changes in the Giants hierarchy. I think there'll be changes on their staff. Okay. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's got to get the right defensive guy. I don't think he has them. And the Giants have to get better. And now it's on them to supplement around these guys and take the next step. Next year, people are going to expect them to compete for the playoffs.
Right.
And that's what they should do next year. That's fine. They'll win some games. They'll upset some people. They'll have some great wins the rest of the way. They'll have some bad losses the rest of the way. Fine. going to be a fun run for the Giant fans the rest of this year. They're going to revel in it. They're going to have some good days. They're going to pack the stadium. They're going to have some bad days. Hey, that's good. It's going to all be fun. Next year, they will expect them to take a quantum leap and make the postseason. And you know what? They have to supplement the team around this guy. But if you notice, the rest of the squad has really picked up their game because of what they are seeing. Because Dart and Scottsdale aren't going to accept anything less from them. They're giving you great effort and great enthusiasm. And they said, hey, we didn't have anything to do with this losing. We don't want to lose. We didn't come here to lose. Guys, we're not losing. And the other guys are buying into that now. And in football, it's no sport does victory intoxicate a team like football. A team that gets off to a good start, like the Colts now. The Colts now mentally, I guarantee you the guys are getting there early. I guarantee you there's not anyone who isn't alert in a meeting. Every guy on that squad will go the extra yard. Why? Because they're winning. Mm-hmm. Winning means everything in the NFL. And when you get off to a fast start, you can raise a team 2 levels just by the fact that you now have a good record. The Colts are going to be a pain in the neck the rest of the way. Yeah. The Giants are buying in, and there's no one on it, not even Green Bay or Detroit or Philly. There's no one on that roster. There's no one on that schedule the rest of the way that I don't think the Giants can beat. I think they could upset anybody, and the other teams better be prepared to play them because those guys are going to bring everything they have every week.
Yep. He's energized the organization. He's energized the entire fan base. Jackson Dart has. Mike, when's the last time you were this excited about a young New York athlete?
Listen, we have a guy in New York.
That's for sure.
Now.
Right.
No. Listen, we get to Jets in a minute. We have a guy in New York right now that people don't realize. I know the Yankees haven't won a championship. I don't know if anybody realizes how good Judge is. I mean, Judge is going to be one of the best players of all time.
Yes.
I mean, now, I don't know if he's ever going to win a championship or not because the Yankees, they're not the Yankees in real execution anymore. Right. And they've let the Dodgers just completely leave them in the dust. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at it. In the last 8 years, the Dodgers have completely left the Yankees. The Yankees are supposed to be the same as the Dodgers. And now the Mets, with Cohen's money, expect to be on that same level. It takes a while to get there. But the Dodgers are on their own level. Let's be honest. They're on their own level right now. And they are dominating the way the Yankees used to dominate. The Yankees don't dominate anymore. But a guy like Judge, that kind of guy, that's like having Mickey Mantle in town. Right. Lawrence Taylor in town. I mean, those guys, they come around every, 30, 40 years. That's how good he is.
Hey, Mike.
Now, you want to get to the Jets? You want to get to the Jets?
I think Taylor's he's gonna take you there, Mike. He's gonna take you to a place I don't want to go.
Go ahead. Tee me up. Let it go. Let's go.
Hey, Mike. Taylor from Rockland County. First time, long time. Does Aaron Glenn deserve a second year?
He'll get it because he'll get it for this reason. Number one, he's a Jet. Number two, Woody's tired of making changes. Number three, he'd owe him a big check on the way out the door after 1 year. Plus, Glenn has a lot of backing from big-time coaches. He worked with Dan Campbell. He worked with Sean Payton. He worked with Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells really cares about Aaron Glenn. Always has. Now, that doesn't mean Aaron Glenn's going to be any good. And let me tell you something. Aaron Glenn has been embarrassingly bad. Embarrassingly bad. Remember this. Aaron Glenn keeps referencing what happened to Dan Campbell at the beginning in Detroit. That was a complete rebuild. This was not. The Jets have players. Okay? He wouldn't give Aaron Rodgers the time of day. All right? Which is a joke. But Aaron Rodgers last year, if he had the right support and the right coaching staff, could have won double digits with that team last year. This is not a team that doesn't have talent. I can give you 10 really good players on the Jets. This team should not be losing this way, except Fields is a disaster. You're not even playing NFL offense when he's on the field.
Last week, when Aaron Glenn decided to go for it on 4th down before the half, but then just run the clock out after that, just makes me wonder, What do they have the same goals? Are they trying to have Aaron Glenn go 0-17 to get a quarterback? Because it was just mind-boggling.
They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. See, last week when he didn't pull Fields at the half in the fourth quarter, and then when he got the ball back, all he needed was one big completion to win the game. Taylor would have got him that. I'm telling you, he would have got him that. Taylor can throw the ball. He's accurate. Fields is so inaccurate, he couldn't hit you in the rear end from 10 yards, okay? The guy, listen, he is an athlete. He can run. He can't pass the ball. And he holds it forever. He is not an NFL quarterback. And the problem is, Taylor is not a guy you really want to start every week. I bring him in a relief, but he's an old man,
right?
And he's brittle. They're going to have to go back to Fields or go to somebody else at this point. But here's the deal: the only thing left for the Jets this year is whether or not they win a game. They have the Dolphins at home, and who knows what the Dolphins are going to be like at that point. The whole team might have jumped ship by then, okay? Right. And maybe they'll get a win. And I think the Jets will get a win somewhere along the way because I just think it's hard to go winless. Yeah, I just think it's hard to go winless. And when they get a win, then people will completely ignore them the rest of the year because then there's nothing to talk about. Right. That's the only thing left that's even the least bit interesting about them. They are an absolute embarrassment, and I feel bad for the fans because I don't see how you can go to a game and watch that. That Carolina game yesterday was so boring. I was sitting there saying, I'm trying to watch this. It's almost impossible to watch. Carolina was not doing much yesterday. The Jet defense is not bad. They're trying. But the offense is so bad. And then they put Taylor in. And listen, I thought the one thing Taylor did yesterday wrong was he tried to go deep too many times. The problem is he didn't have Wilson yesterday. Okay, Hall got banged up, and if Hall's hurt at all, he's not going to play now because he's thinking about the rest of his career. Okay, and what free agent's going to come to the Jets? Who in their right mind is going to say, "Oh, I can go to this team, and this team. I'm going to go to the Jets." Who's going to go to the Jets?
Right.
Well, why would you possibly go to the Jets? Mm-hmm. First of all, living here is more expensive than it is anywhere in the country, which the players always balk about. You know, players and assistant coaches scream bloody murder when they try to buy a house when they come to New York or New Jersey, because the prices are astronomical in any town that has a decent school district. So the wives go crazy, and then the assistant coaches go nuts. They've had this problem with the Jets and Giants for years. As a matter of fact, they have to give them extra money for housing. That's how bad it is, okay? Wow. That's always a huge issue. I know players who turn down contracts here because they're like, no, the cost of living is so ridiculous, I'm going to go here. Okay, I'm going to go to Texas where there's no state income tax, or Florida where there's no state income tax, and I can get a house much cheaper. And that matters. So with that also as a detriment, who's going to come to the Jets?
Right. Mike, to make matters worse, the Jets still trying to get it right for the first time. The Patriots have gotten it right twice now. I mean, they have the head coach and the quarterback again, Mike. It's incredible, the Patriots.
Well, listen, I know Bob Kraft a long time. Okay, I know Bob Kraft when he bought the team. Bill was already there. If folks remember, Paul Tagliabue was the reason Bill went to New England. Orthwein, the Budweiser heir, wanted to move the team out of New England after he took it over. And he gave the league 1 year to find a buyer. Tagliabue had the idea, Bill, you become part of the sale because you're going to be a big deal for a franchise. An owner's going to jump in because you're here as the coach under contract. Right. So Bill went there, and then Kraft came the second year. Okay, so I was around in those days, so I know Kraft all that time. And I've had my ups and downs with Kraft. I got to say this. He's no dummy. He's smart. And they knew how to rebuild the franchise, and they knew they were headed down the wrong path, so they stopped it immediately. They were lucky enough that Vrabel wanted them. He could have gone anywhere. He could have gone to 5 places. He wanted them. But you know what? They hit a home run with me. And now they're back. They're going to the playoffs this year. Their schedule is so easy, and they're good. Vrabel already has them playing real football. They're playing offense. They're playing complementary football. They're playing 3-ways. They're playing special teams. They're playing defense. May is playing sensationally. And they don't even have the roster ready yet. they're going to get better each year now. They're going to be a huge pain in the rear end for the next 5 to 10 years under Vrabel. Huge with Vrabel in May, and they are already back. And you're right. You know why? Because they're smart.
Yeah.
Ownership is enormously important to a team's success. Enormously. There's 3 prongs: owner, head coach, quarterback. Any one of them can kill you.
Mike, who would you? I know you've been around college football your entire career. You love the sport. Penn State is close to where you are. Who would you hire as the next Penn State head coach?
I would try it. I would have done anything to hire Signetti. Signetti is a genius. I thought Indiana would keep him. You have to understand, if you understand college football, you understand there are maybe 3 schools where you think it's impossible to win in major college football. One of them is Indiana. Okay?
Yeah.
Winning like this at Indiana. Now, he did something that could not have been done until modern times. He brought his whole James Madison team with him, okay? And he went out and they brought in they spent a lot of money and brought in a lot of players. But think about it. He now has gone from obscurity to making $90 million as the head coach, all right? That's the guy. Now, without him, I haven't really given it a lot of thought. Some really good young coaches, but you're an automatic 8-9 winner at Penn State. Automatic. There are jobs where you go in and you know that unless you are a complete moron, you are going to win 9 games every year, okay? Penn State's one of those places. The question is, are you going to win the games that make you a champion? And Franklin never could. He never, ever won the big game, ever. He ran it up on bad teams, and I got into a thing with him once because he called a timeout and kicked a field goal at 59-0, or 56, and it made it 59, and I went nuts on him. The bottom line is he ran it up on bad teams. He never beat a big team. He never beat a top-ranked team, and they'd had enough of it. That's the bottom line. The amazing thing is these college guys get these buyouts that are so insane. It is a joke. In what profession can you get fired and get 40 or 50 million going out the door?
Yeah.
It is an amazing, it's a great job. You don't do anything the rest of your life. You can go do TV. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't buy for a second that Saban wants to coach anymore. I don't think he would go there. I don't believe those rumors. There are a lot of good young coaches, but the guy I wanted to see go there was Signetti, but Indiana moved very quickly and got him locked up, and he has done one of the great jobs I've ever seen.
Well, that's going to be the Jets' next starting quarterback, in my book, is Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, shut up. Please.
I'm telling you, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Listen, that for you Jet fans and for anybody locally in the metropolitan area, that's going to be your next talking point for the next 3 months. Very soon.
It always is,
Who
Mike.
are the Jets going to draft at quarterback? That's going to be the next thing. How can they screw that up? I mean, that'll be the next ordeal. Yes.
I look forward to whichever quarterback they draft, Mike. Right. I look forward to whichever quarterback they draft being good 2 stops later in his career, you know?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I loved Sam Darnold coming out of college.
So did I.
And I got a lot of heat because I said this guy would be a really good NFL quarterback, and I'm watching it just go sour for Sam, and I felt so bad for him. And the bottom line is, I knew Sam had ability, and now look what Sam's doing. As a matter of fact, Minnesota internally, they are kicking themselves for not bringing him back. Kicking themselves.
Yes.
They wish, because look what he's doing in Seattle. Watch him tonight. He's playing MVP type football, and I love what Baker Mayfield's done in this league. Listen. I don't think Daniel Jones is. I think Daniel Jones is winning because he's in a really good place right now. He's got real talent around him. He's got a great running back. He's got an all-world tight end, which I beg the Jets to draft this year. Warren is going to be a Hall of Famer. I really believe that. I believe that's how good he is. He was as good a college tight end as I've ever seen, and he is lighting it up in the NFL. He's got 4 or 5 catches and 70 yards and a touchdown almost every week. And he's a rookie. I mean, he's only going to get better. And he blocks, and he's big and strong. I love that guy. Love him. And, the bottom line is the Jets aren't going to do that because they're not smart enough to do that. And they didn't draft a bad player. They drafted a good player. I can't argue that right tackle can play. But the bottom line is, how can they have what they've invested in draft picks in their offensive line and they can't play as a group? They are just inept completely. Anything they touch turns to sand. It is unbelievable what's going on with that franchise.
Yeah.
Mike, was Shohei Ohtani's performance in Game 4 the greatest single performance in sports history?
It's a great question. It is.
I've been asked this. As a matter of fact, I've been asked this a lot in the last couple of days. I don't see how anybody has a chance to compete with it. I mean, to go out there and pitch and strike out 10 guys and then hit 3 homers and hit the ball out of the ballpark, hit it over the roof. How could you possibly what are the other options?
Larson, perfect game, perhaps? Perfect game, World Series, Mike?
No, because you're combining offense and you're combining pitching and offense here.
You're right.
3 home runs, 1 over the roof, and 10 strikeouts?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to compete with that.
Right.
When he's on the mound and the offensive weapon that he is, I'd have to say 100% yes. I mean, wow. I don't know how to even compete with it. I went back and looked at the games, and I said, did Ruth ever rip it apart in any of the games he pitched when he was in Boston? And he didn't.
Right.
He was a baby then, and they probably never worked on his hitting, and they didn't use him as a hitter. And then, they realized what he was offensively. But in those games, if you look, he didn't do anything in those games. So I don't have a Ruth game to put in there. Now, if you ask me who's better, him or Ruth, I still say Ruth, because Ruth was an incredible pitcher. And I think Ruth's, it's a different world, but Ruth's offensive performance is otherworldly. But as far as the single performance, hey, when the ball went over the roof, what I was amazed at is all the players had their mouths open.
Yeah. Yep.
If you looked in the dugout, you looked in the bullpen, they were staring at each other with their mouths open as the ball went over the roof.
Yeah, they're hard to impress. Yeah,
that was Herculean. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Yes.
And here he is having a bad series, and he does that. And I understand they had won the series anyway. I mean, it wasn't like it was the clutchest performance, but it was so overwhelming that there's nothing to discuss.
Right.
It's just, it's a performance that stands alone. I'd say you have to say it's the greatest performance ever.
We'll let you go on this, Mike. He's got a 105 batting average in the World Series. He needs to do it in the World Series, right? Ohtani does. He needs to, right?
You hear that all the time. That's the thing. That's the cry every time. These guys, if they play enough, you go look. Joe DiMaggio had terrible World Series. Mickey Mantle, who was the best, if you look at him, he's the best World Series player ever. In terms of, he had 18 home runs, he had 40 RBIs, got the most RBIs, the most home runs, the most runs scored. He played in a lot of games, but he also had 18 World Series homers. The bottom line is, he had bad series. Ruth had bad series. Anyone can have a bad series. If he shows up in enough World Series, he'll break one apart. That's just the way it is.
All right. Mike, we appreciate this. As always, you are the greatest. The Mike Francesa podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Listen.
And you'll be off this by about Thursday. By Thursday you'll have gone over the play-by-play enough times that you'll know it by heart. You'll be reading it to your kids at night before they fall asleep. You'll know every play by heart.
Mike, you getting some golf in today? What are you doing?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw it. Maybe you missed it there, but I had emergency gallbladder surgery when the Yankees were down on the Tuesday night. All of a sudden, I just was completely doubled over with pain, and I called my doctor, and he said, "Get to the hospital." And I got to the hospital, and my gallbladder was completely inflamed, and I had surgery the next day. So I'm on a shelf for about a month.
All right. Wow. Well, we hope you get better.
I'm okay. Listen, they took it out. Everything's gone. The only thing you worry about is it bursting. But once they got it out, I'm eating a lot of mashed potatoes right now and Cheerios, but other than that, things are okay. And but I can't. But I'm on the shelf till I get to Florida in December. I'm on the shelf for golf.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I only asked because there's only a few more days, few more weeks that you can play golf up there, perhaps. But when you're down here in December, Mike, I'd love to take you out and play some golf. So hopefully we could do it.
Listen, anytime. I'll be down there. I'll be down there all winter.
Okay. I mean, you have no idea how long I've waited to play a round of golf with Mike Francesa. That's a date, Mike. It's a date.
Where I live, we have 3 courses, so anytime you want.
Okay. I only have one.
There you go. So we will play. What town do you live in?
I live in Boca Raton.
Okay, so we're not far.
Okay.
We're in Palm Beach, so we're not far away.
All right, done. I will come to you. We'll play one of your 3 courses, but just, Mike, this is how I roll, right?
Anytime.
Okay, done. I will call you in December. We will make this happen. We appreciate it.
What's your index?
Oh, God, you and Dog with the index and the handicaps and all this. I mean, geez, I mean, Doggy asked me the same thing. I said, Dog, I don't check the index of a course. You know what I do? I go out in the cart.
No, not the index of the course. What is
my handicap.
If you say to someone, handicap,
Yeah, I'm like a 10.
Like a 10.
Really?
Yeah, like a 12.
Mike, I've played with him. I've played with him. He's a just put me down for a 4 guy a lot.
Well, if I get on the green in regulation, it's a par, Mike.
You're a 4? He's a 4?
No, I'm not a 4.
No, like when I ask him, hey, what'd you get on this hole? He's like, just put me down for a 4.
Yeah.
I'm a 12.8. So you know what? I hit it straight though. That's one thing.
I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm like an 18. You'll have to give me about a stroke a hole. We'll have fun. The point is not winning or losing. It's just you and I getting to know each other.
What do you think? I'm an idiot? I'm giving you a stroke a hole. You get maybe.
I tried to sneak one. I tried to sneak it in, Mike.
You get maybe 6 for the whole 18. That's it. Get out of here.
Okay. All right, I'll take 6 for the whole 18. We will have a blast. We will rip the Jets together. We'll laugh at the Jets together. and we'll get to know each other. I'm looking forward to it.
See you, Mike.
See you later. Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Guys.
Feel better, by the way. We appreciate it.